Real Talk with Grace Redman features conversations with fierce and fabulous people from Grace's community and circle who inspire others with their stories of overcoming challenges to create amazing. Grace is an entrepreneur and success coach who works with individuals to diminish their negative mental chatter, boost their confidence, achieve their goals, and increase their prosperity mindset. Get ready for a series of anything goes conversations with remarkable men and women that will get you jazzed for life's unlimited possibilities of success, freedom, and fun. Welcome to Real Talk with Grace Redman.
Hey, loves, it's Grace Redman. Thank you so much for joining us today on a live episode of Real Talk, where I get to have real life, raw conversations with incredible people from my community who have overcome challenges and created amazing. And today I'm so excited to be here with Judy James. And I'm going to tell you a little about Judy. Judy is a wife, a mother, a grandmother, an inspirationalist, a Reiki master, a mind, body, spirit practitioner, and a writer. Most of all, she's on a spiritual journey, and she strives to seek light within herself and within everyone she meets. So welcome, Judy.
Thanks, Grace. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you, sister. So excited. And it's true. You really are so warm and wonderful. And that is something I love about you, that you are always looking for the light in other people, even when it's difficult, because it's not always easy to see the light when we're having, when people are challenging. So that's something I love about you. You always seem to see the light in others.
Yeah, that's been a practice. It's taken a while to get there, but it's very important to me now because it feels so good.
It does. Good. So tell me a little bit how you started on your spiritual journey, because it's not easy, like we just said, to say, I'm going to see the light in everyone.
Right. I spent the great majority of my life living unconsciously, I'll just say. I was so unconscious of how I was. I saw myself very different, and I portrayed myself very different on the outside than I was on the inside. And I just remember becoming increasingly unhappy through the years. Everything was about making money and buying and having kids and doing all the things that I thought I needed to do and would make me happy and would fulfill me. And so I was on that path, and the more I got, and the more I accomplished, the more I had to take care of, and the more I was miserable. And so one day I remember just sitting at my work and looking up and saying, there has to be something more, and I don't know what it is, but I'm like, what is it? And the strangest thing, because my grandma Zimmer came to my mind, just popped in my mind. I really didn't know her that well, so it's kind of strange. I was very close to my other grandma, not for any reason, not close to this grandma, except that she was an older grandma. Mm-hmm. And when we were all together, there were so many of us. And it was kids go outside and play, I didn't get to really know her as a person. So I sat with that and I thought, what is it about her? And what came to me is she had peace. And that's something I didn't have. And I thought, how could she have peace when she lived through depressions, when she raised 6 kids with no money on a farm, with horses? These are the days that they plowed with horses and did crops with horses. How could she have that kind of peace within her?
And how did you know she had peace within her?
I just got a picture of her face, and that's what I remember about her. Like, it was always the same. She always looked the same. And it was just that contentment, just that peace. It just was.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right. I think we can see people's life history on their face or on their persona. And so when you're talking about, you just knew, when I think of peace, and you just see someone's face, they're just relaxed, and they just have this purity about them.
Yeah. And that's what she had. So I decided, okay, peace, that's what I need. Well, I thought peace was going to come in a beautiful blue box with a red ribbon delivered to my door, on Tuesday at 5. And instead, peace came in basically starting my life over at 50 years old. It came through a divorce. It came through leaving my home that I'd worked really hard for and leaving pretty much everything there. It came through changing friends. It came through a whole complete life change. And on the outside, how could it look peaceful? But I can promise you that I had more peace inside at that time than I had ever had in my life, which sounds bizarre. Like, how can that be?
It does. It sounds bizarre because what I heard you say was you found peace after leaving a 30-year relationship, leaving your friends, like starting, like that sounds like a mess. But within that mess, it sounds like you had peace. What brought you the peace within that chaos?
So I had gotten to the point where I could not answer, and this was another turning day in my life that I remember, and at the time didn't seem like a big deal, but somebody asked me, "What do you like?" And I couldn't answer that question. So I did what I did in those days, and I made a sarcastic comment and avoided it. What do you mean? What do I like? Everyone knows what they like. What do you like? Right?
So you turn it around on the other person.
Sarcasm and avoidance. Those were absolutely my two tools that I had in those days. And that worked great until I got home that night and went to bed. I put my head on the pillow and I just was bawling. It was like, how can I not know what I like? How can I be this depleted? What happened? Why? How did I get here? And I decided then I had to make some changes and I had to find out some things about myself. And that's not easy. And it's not always things that you like that you find out about yourself, because this is my journey. It's not a journey to blame anyone else or to look to anyone else for. It's truly looking at myself.
Yes. I hear you. And when you said it's like truly looking at ourselves, however, what we're taught or what I was taught is I looked outside of myself, for everything. And you blamed, the environment, the boss, the family, everyone around you, when in reality, it's like we get to choose how do we move forward, and it's not up to anyone else. But we're not taught that. We're taught that the hard work validates us, that big house validates us.
Yes.
And so, like you said earlier,
makes us important.
Yeah, we're striving for more and more, and of course it feels good to accomplish, but we tie our identity to it. Then we don't even know who we are, and then, like you said, then we get depleted, and then we're like, what the F?
Yeah. What did this? So then after that, then I surrendered. Basically, that's what I did. And I'll never forget this night too. And these were all, kind of close together within a few months. And I went home one night and I just looked up and I said, okay, I, for the first time in my life, do not know what to do. Because I knew everything. I thought I knew everything. I knew exactly what to do, how to, take care of everyone else, how to do everything. Like I knew it all, right? And I did from my pea-sized world, because that's kind of what my world was at that time. It was so small. And I surrendered right there. And it was just, after that, it was magic, because every day I knew I had guidance and I knew exactly what to do every day from that day forward.
And when you say surrender, what did that look like to you? When you surrendered, what was that like for you?
I finally was ready to listen instead of talk, right? I finally was ready to let go of control instead of thinking that I had to control everyone and everything in my life, right? And I finally was ready to let go of that. I finally just had, and we don't have to get to that point. That's one of my messages. We don't have to we can choose. And like we talked about before, choices, I never thought I could make choices. Like I didn't ever think I had choices. That's kind of a victim mentality that I had.
But we don't even know that. We don't know it's a victim mentality.
We don't. We have no idea. But we can choose. We don't have to go all the way down and get to that point in our life. We don't have to do that. We do not.
And what I call that is the universal 2x4. It's like when you're not, like you don't listen to the pain in your body, you don't listen to your depression, you don't listen to your feeling like shit, and then all of a sudden the universe comes, bang, and that can come in the form of a divorce, an illness, another type of doesn't have to be horrible tragedy, but a tragedy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then we're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe there's another way. Right. And then we're ready to listen.
But like you said, we don't have to get hit by the 2x4.
We do not. If we become aware and intentional with our life, and for me, it was never paying attention to the feelings that I had in my body. And it wasn't maybe not paying attention. It was ignoring. It was ignoring because it was always there. I always knew in my gut what was going on. I always knew it, but I ignored it because I didn't want to see what was really there. And I didn't want to, right? And so it's just trusting that. It's trusting that gut. It's trusting your guidance that you get. I mean, that's where it's at.
Yeah. And we all have it. Like we all have that intuition, the guidance, that feeling, like you could feel it in your gut. And sometimes, like you said, like we hear it, we feel it, but we dismiss it. We dismiss it. And then, we pay the price. Yeah. With, like you said, like just waking up one day and saying, okay, who am I? Like, what do I like? I don't even know what I like because I've been taking care of everyone else for so long.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, for me, I was taking care of people that didn't ask me to take care of them. Right.
I can relate to that.
I mean, that was me. Like, I thought I had to do that.
And what made you believe you had to do that?
I saw my mom do that. I think that was part of it. And I know that somewhere in my soul, it was avoidance. It was avoidance of me paying attention to my own life. And if I interjected myself into everyone else's life and tried to control their lives and do all that, then I didn't have to pay attention to mine, right? I didn't have to pay attention to it. No, it was just, I'm taking care of everybody else. I can tell everybody else how they should live and what they should do and how it should go. And if I'm busy doing that, my life's fine, right?
The distraction. Because like you said, it's not easy to look within ourselves and face our own fears and insecurities and wounds, really.
Wounds, it's definitely. Painful. And that's it. That's it. It is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart, as they say. And it's not.
However, based, from my experience, and tell me if you could relate, it's like it wasn't easy, to go within and recognize, oh my gosh, I have these fears and these demons and these triggers. But once I had the awareness and I started to work through it, the peace and the joy and freedom that I felt was I'm just going to say fucking incredible.
It was. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
and that's why I'm so passionate to let everyone know, like, yes, this is scary. It's painful to go within on this journey. But when we do that and face our shit, what we come out on the other side is our birthright, like the joy, the freedom. This is how we should be living.
Yeah. So what I think, and for myself, and just, I can only speak for myself, but I lived my whole life in pain. It was pain, but it came out as anger. It came out as judgment. It came out as so many other critical voice, critical of myself, critical of everything. I felt like shit all the time. Like I had all this, it was like a weight on me. I had all of this. And I was so used to feeling like that at that time, that when I would feel good, no. That's not going to last. Don't get into it. Don't think it's real, right? It's not real. This bad shit is real, right? This good stuff over here is not real. So you do the work and you find out the good shit is what's real, right? And then when you go back over here for a minute to feeling bad, you're not going to have any part of that any more than you had the feeling good before, right? So it's a flip. It's a total flip. And
it's a contrast. And now I feel like I'm an energy snob. Because when we're human, and of course I'm gonna, have those days where I feel out of alignment, I feel like crap. And then I'm like, okay, Grace, like what's wrong? What's going on here? Sit in it, figure it out. But I want to get back to the feeling good. And also I'm aware of like, there's a self-sabotage there too. Like, okay, feeling too good and things are going too good. Okay, something's going to happen to ruin it, which goes back to our worthiness. Because if we don't feel like we are worthy and deserving, then we're not going to allow ourselves to feel good. And then that goes the cycle of the self-sabotage.
Exactly. And it's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. But when we can disrupt that with some tools that we learn, then feeling good becomes the norm, right? Feeling good becomes what we strive for.
Yeah.
And we strive into the world for the good instead of for the negative and for the things that don't feel good, so.
For sure. And I think that's another thing. I know that I was conditioned to always look at the negative, not because it was bad, but this isn't working. So because it's not working, I need to fix it. So it was like, I was always looking at the negative to make things better. But in reality, that's counterproductive. It's like, we have to look at what's working, and then we're going to get more of what's working, and what's not working will actually fall away, which is so counterintuitive.
Yeah. And it's just like you said with the contrast, they're both there.
Yeah.
And then it comes back to choice, right? It comes back to where are you going to choose to focus your attention? And when you choose to focus it on what makes you feel good and what feels good, then your life goes so much better, because all that other stuff's still going to be there. Like it's not really going anywhere.
That's true.
It will take care of itself.
Totally.
It really does. It really will take care of itself.
It does. And we cannot control other people, period. And get that through my thick skull.
No, mine too. It's
that's been the hardest thing for me. Not that I want to control others. I don't mean it like that. Meaning like, okay, like, do this or do that, make this better.
Because we know what's better for them.
But they don't. And we got to accept them there where they're at on their journey.
Yeah, it's true. Kids are great.
Oh yeah.
With that lesson. Really great teachers with that lesson.
So tell me more about that, Judy.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start with that one. Yeah, I have 4 kids.
God bless.
Yeah. My oldest daughter is 40.
Wow.
I know. I can't even really say that.
Mother.
So I don't know how that happened. But anyway, yeah. And then 35 and then 24. Sorry, Molly. And 22. So yeah, it's been and I'll have to say sorry, Jennifer and Megan, because I was a much different parent. Those are my older two. I was a much different parent to them than I was to my younger two. I was 11 years older. That helps, right?
Yeah.
Maturity. And I had already had two kids, so I'd had some practice. And yeah, so I was a very different parent. I was very much less controlling. I let the younger two be who they were, right? The older two, I wasn't very good at that. Like I thought they had to be perfect, like I was. Like
Right.
I tried to be. Not I was, but like I tried to be, right? So that, yeah, that perfection thing. And yeah. So
But we don't know what we don't know until we know it.
we don't. And I believe this with my whole heart. This is one of my really core beliefs. I believe that we all do the very best we can do at any moment. Like I think we're all doing our best at that moment. The best we can in that moment. Now, it might get better in another moment, but in this moment, this is all I got.
For sure. And that's true. Like we make the best decision we can in the moment with the information and resources we have. So if we don't have those resources and information in the moment, we're going to make the decision based on where we're at, not where we're going to be in 5 years.
Right. And if you look across the board at society even and know that everyone is doing the very damn best they can, my parents did the best they could do, right? Everybody's parents, as hard as that sounds, sometimes they did the best they could.
They did.
Yeah. And nobody has it easy.
It's not. And I had a rough time with my parents. And I just felt so much anger and resentment for so long. And then as I've gone on my own journey and done my own healing and growth, and I look back and now I have so much compassion because again, they were doing the best they could from what they, knew how based on the beliefs from the generations before them. And they were only trying to give us the best.
Yes.
Not realizing that parts of the beliefs or it was just a different generation.
Totally different. And they did what they were taught.
Exactly.
And I see that as our place now is to break some of those generational cycles.
Absolutely. Right?
There just are so many of them.
There are.
And it took a long time for them to manifest and to grow and all the things. And, we can't do away with them all in a minute.
No.
But I feel like the changes that we make in ourselves ripple out into the world. And that's how the world changes, right? It's not going to change because one person is going to come and save the world. It's just not. It's just not. It'd be great if that would happen.
No,
it's not. It's not.
You just hit a huge point, I think, and it's such an important point, especially, at this time in history where we are. It's like there are so many challenges. We're facing so many challenges as a society, as a human race, and we all want to just fix this bigger, huge thing. And you're right. There's not one person that can step up and do that. However, I wholeheartedly believe that it really does all start with us. We are each that tiny pebble. If you just drop that tiny pebble, it'll ripple. And for me, what that means is I have to go within, be the best person I can, and be as loving and kind and compassionate and accepting.
Yeah.
And if I can show up in the world like that, be the best that I can, then that's what's going to help create the change. And is going to change the generational patterns and cycles. And as we heal, the generation heals, which I didn't know that till the last few years. That's powerful.
Yes, it's super powerful, because sometimes we think we're not making a difference. Sometimes, I get caught up in thinking, I'm not doing enough. I need to do more. How can we change things? But we really are. We really are. And so is everyone, right?
Yeah. Everyone has their part.
It is. And for me, it's just been being conscious of knowing that I have that part and how I want to play that part. Like, how do I want to show up in the world? What do I want to leave in this world? And what do I want my legacy to be? And how do I want to live when I'm here?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's important to me. I think you just have to, pay attention to that and live your life accordingly, right? Just live your life accordingly.
Which brings us, to the topic, because I know we're both recovering perfectionists, codependent, people pleasers. We're covering everything. Something that I struggled with, was the people pleasing, and that, keeps us from living our best life, from being authentic, from feeling that peace. However, I don't think that we're not born, how do I want, we're conditioned to become the people pleaser, to feel validated and feel good. And I've been working on that. And one thing, I know we wanted to talk about is, this is so hard for me to even say, learning how to disappoint others.
Yeah. Yeah. That kind of stuck right here, right? Yeah.
So when it's phrased that way, I'm like, oh my gosh, because I love to, I don't ever want to be the bad guy. But when we think about, when we flip it, disappointing others is really, on the flip, is choosing ourselves.
It is. It is. And so I'm doing this weekend a session at a hair conference, and I'm talking about self-care.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I talk about is that our relationship with ourselves sets the tone for every other relationship in our life.
Bingo.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, just wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's mind-blowing, because I always thought that I could treat other people well and do all of this and do all of that. And you know what? It's not that I didn't, but I became resentful.
Mm-hmm.
And you become resentful because you don't take care of yourself, and you don't say no when you need to say no, and you don't put boundaries that you need to put, all those things. And then you become resentful. Right. And the other person's just going, what's the matter with you? Like, they don't even know, right? They have no clue what's
100%.
wrong.
100%. Yeah. Well, also what I've learned is also intention. When it comes to people pleasing, like, I'm doing this thing because I want something back. And that could be because I want your friendship. I want you to like me. I want you to validate me. Right. So when that's my intention, it's a low vibration intention. I'm not doing it from the kindness of my heart, although it's unconscious. Like, I do like this, but I was giving so you'd like me.
Right. I wanted that in return. I wanted acceptance in return. I wanted love in return. Exactly. Right? All those things.
Yeah. Exactly. So then that creates the low, the expectation. And then when you don't get it back, you're like, wait a second, I did all this for you. And why are you treating me like this? Well, you're treating me like this because my intention wasn't like, okay, I'm just going to do this because have no expectation. It was because I want you to accept me. And that's completely it's going to keep us feeling low, and expectations set you up to be disappointed. So for myself now, if I'm going to do something, I ask myself, am I doing this because I really want to and I have no expectation? Or do I feel like I need you to like me? If I feel like I need you to like me, I don't do it.
Right. And that's such a good reminder and such a good clue to take that pause, that slight pause, a little bitty pause, and just say, okay, what am I doing here? Why am I doing this? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be honest. That's the other part. And that's
Right.
not always really easy either,
No,
right?
it's not. It's not always
It's
easy.
pretty
Like,
easy to bullshit
I
ourselves.
know. You're like, oh damn, that was my ego. I'm feeling, a little insecure. So I better push back. Which again, this all goes back to our self-worth. All of this.
Yeah, it does. It
Yeah.
absolutely, how we treat ourselves. Full circle, how we
Mhm.
treat ourselves. Because that's truly what we put out into the world too.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I've noticed as I've started to heal, and we're going to talk about this because I know that you believe love is the answer.
Yeah.
As we start to heal and we step into our self-worth and we know that we're worthy no matter what, which we all are. This is our birthright. We're deserving. When we take our first breath, like, we're worthy. We don't have to prove ourselves. We don't have to earn our worth. When we know that, we fall out of the people pleasing and the codependency because we don't need the outside to validate us. We already know who we are. And that's when we can start serving and paying it forward from a full cup.
That's so true. So true. So true. Sometimes it takes a while to get there, right?
Yeah, it does. So let me ask you this question. What steps or what tool have you used to help you get there? What's been like, there's so many tools, but what's one that you just love and you go to?
My biggest tool, I believe, and I use it every day, is my morning routine. It's the way I start my day, and it's not with social media, and it's not with the news, and it's not with that kind of stuff. It's with meditation, quiet meditation, or a guided meditation, either or, and just quiet time. Set my intention for the day, and that always includes for my day to flow with grace and ease.
Yeah.
Because I don't always know what's going to happen in my day. But when I'm full of peace and grace and ease, then that's what comes out when something does happen, right? It's not an eruption of stress and anxiety and fear and all those things, bubbling out and popping out and exploding all over everybody around you. It's that you can sit with it and you can respond instead of reacting like that.
Yes.
It changed my life more than anything, really, because I was so in reaction mode. I was waiting for something to happen that I could spew stuff out at, right? I was waiting for it. Come on, bring it on. I'm ready.
Well, like you said, I mean, we attract whatever we're feeling. Like, if I'm feeling, angry and resentful and like the victim, and then every day I go out into the world, that's exactly what's going to come to me.
Mm-hmm. Come to me and come out of me, right? Both.
Totally. So we're a reflection, of and a mirror to what's coming into our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed a tremendous change, and tell me if this resonates, that same thing, when I started to do my morning routine and I got quiet and I would meditate and pray and do my gratitudes, like, my life changed. I don't have that many crazy, dramatic experiences in my life anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have just that drama all day long. It's like you live in drama. And I remember when I stepped away from the drama, I thought I was depressed, but I wasn't depressed. It was my nervous system is like, where's the drama? We get addicted
what are we supposed to do here?
But addicted to it, and we feel like the peace is, I thought it was depression, but it was peace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because we're not used to feeling it.
Right.
Back to that, right? We're just not used to it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm going to see who's here with us. Tina. Hey, Tina. And Chelsea. And Chelsea, I think she's talking about, like, when she said, and the flip side is true. I sometimes do not do something because I'm afraid of confrontation. That's the wrong reason to make a choice. That too. I mean, I've avoided confrontation for sure. I don't like conflict. And I read something yesterday, said, help me out, Judy. The harder the conversations you have, the greater the joy you experience in your life. Is that right?
The more difficult the conversations that you have, the deeper your relationships are going to be.
Yeah. And so
that is so true.
It really is.
So true.
And sometimes you're going to lose. I know I've lost friendships.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I've made the decision to have those difficult conversations. And it wasn't easy, but I also realized if the relationship wasn't working out for me, it wasn't working out for the other person, and it's healthier to just walk away.
Sometimes we just cling to things because we think we have to,
right?
And because we're gonna be a bitch if we walk away, or we think those kinds of things. And you're right. Oftentimes, I think we're holding the other person there too, right? I think we do.
And I know this to be true. Like if I'm feeling some type of way and I'm in an interaction and I'm feeling out of alignment and it's not feeling good, energy is real. Energy doesn't lie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I have we go back to choices. I have a choice to make. Am I going to stay in that uncomfortable feeling, or am I going to do something? Sometimes, to be transparent, I don't, because it's not worth it. It's like sometimes I make a choice, like, okay, is this person really going to hear what I'm saying, or are they not in awareness? And then at that point, sometimes I just have to be transparent. I leave it and I accept them where they are, and I make that choice.
Yeah, that's for sure. Because there's nothing you can do about that. And I think that's the healthy thing to do, is just walk away and bless them for where they are, right? Just understand that. And, that's pretty easy for me to understand because I was there, in some form or other. I was there. My emotions were there. Maybe it wasn't the same exact scenario. Maybe it wasn't, the loss like they had or anything like that, but my emotions were the same. So I understand those. And that's how we connect, I think, too, right? Without having to go through the same experiences, I think we can understand each other through our emotions, for sure.
For sure. And like you said, we mentioned like energy is real. It doesn't lie.
Yeah.
And just learning to, sometimes you can't question, like, is my imagination, or is this real? It's probably real.
Man. Yeah.
So
we just don't want to believe it, do we?
I know. It's like, we don't, because it's source talking through us. It's a universe. It's God. And sometimes we're like, is it real? Of course it is. It's real. But sometimes when we can't really see something, it's hard for us to believe. And that's where faith comes in.
Yeah, for sure.
So tell me about one of your greatest challenges that actually turned into such a blessing. Because sometimes when we're in the challenge, we don't see it as a blessing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There have been so many. Just so many things. Like, I can't even think of just one.
Whatever comes to mind.
Say that again.
Or whatever just comes to mind first.
Yeah, I think probably one of my greatest challenges that's turned into my biggest blessing is, walking away from a 28-year marriage. And that, again, I don't blame anyone for anything. It's just my part in it that I'm concerned about and that I have had to take care of. But the blessings that have come from me choosing myself and my needs and my wants and my life have been undescribable. Like I can't even tell you, I can't begin to tell you how different I am, for doing that.
I can't imagine that was easy. I mean, 28 years.
It's a long time.
Very long time.
It's a long time. And 4 kids, right? Yeah, it's a long time. But yeah, it's that has to probably, I'm sure, be my most major thing. And, there were countless lessons there, countless. Probably 99% of them came back to valuing myself.
Mm.
Right.
See, that always comes back to that core story.
Yeah, it does.
So what would you tell someone who maybe is, and I think a lot of us stay in relationships a lot longer than we should. And again, like you said, it's not easy. What advice would you have to someone who may be in a relationship past its expiration date and just they don't know how to move forward or how to take a step out or how to choose differently?
I would just have to go back to that one word, and that's surrender. Surrender to your higher power, surrender to your intuition, surrender to what you don't know, because when you ask, it will be given to you. It will be given to you like this. If you truly ask and you're clear about asking, and it will be handed to you. It will.
I agree with you. I mean, ask and you shall receive, because there is a power greater than us at work. When we step out of ourselves, of our ego, and like you said, we just surrender.
Yes.
And I always love the phrase, let go and let God.
Yes. Yeah.
The right people, resources, and situations show up.
It's like magic.
Yeah, it really is
magic. And that's what I said. It was like, when you build all the dominoes and they go just like that. That's what it is. That's truly what it is. That's what surrender can look like. I mean, it doesn't look like that for everybody. Surrender is different for everybody. That's what it looked like for me. It looked like magic, and it looked like, for the first time in my life, I let somebody, something take care of me, right? I didn't think I had to do it all by myself. For the first time, I wasn't alone, right? Because I was so alone my whole life, or thought I was alone, right? That's what was in here. And that, again, comes back to not feeling like you're worthy of being a part of someone else or something greater, right? But that's been a big thing. It's been a big thing.
I love it. That's huge. Just again, surrendering and realizing I don't have to control all of this. God, the universe, a greater power has my back.
Yeah. I don't have to do it alone.
No, and we don't. I mean, the blessings are abundant. And especially, like you said, leaving a 28-year marriage with 4 children, that can't be easy. However, you said 99% was the blessings and lessons.
Yeah.
And now you're on the other side. So tell us a little bit where you're at now and how people can find you.
Oh, great. You can look me up at judy-james.com. That's my website. I have a blog on there. I post weekly. I also have, you can sign up for my weekly wisdom, my newsletter that goes out on Sundays to start your week. I'm writing a book. Oh my gosh.
Incredible writer. Incredible.
It's the craziest thing, because I don't know how much time we have. You may not want to go into it.
And then I'll check and see who's with us.
Okay. So I had no idea that I liked to write, that I loved to write. And last year when we were off, during COVID, six weeks, my salon that I work at shut down. And during that 6 weeks, I had a hair show to prepare for, which is the one that's actually happening this weekend. Finally, from last year. And so I worked and got some content together, and I had been in a mastermind group with Grace, and one of my goals was to get a website, and I'd been working on that for a year. Nothing was coming together. This is another surrender and divine kind of action that has happened. So during those 6 weeks, I started writing. I love it. I got a website.
Mhm.
My husband's daughter is doing all my social media. She's
Great.
posting blogs. She's doing everything. She does such a beautiful job. I'm so proud of my my website and everything. And we've got, it's just everything just came together.
Mhm.
Everything just came together. And so yeah, now I'm writing a book.
I love it. And you're an incredible writer.
Well, the weird thing of it is, and this is when your head gets in the way, because you go back to that sometimes, but I kept thinking it can't be good because it's so effortless. Like it's the most effortless thing that I've ever done. Like it's just effortless. Totally effortless.
But see, that goes back to our belief that we have to work so hard, hustle to create. And you see there with your writing that it just comes with ease and grace. And you're an incredible writer. Like, I can't tell you enough. Like, you're an incredible writer. Like, I can't wait to read your book because, like, you take me there with you.
And it's just, like I said, it's just so surreal to me because I didn't know it was here. Like, I had no idea it was here. I never wrote anything before, just nothing. So anyway, that was.
You've been behind the chair for how many years doing people's
40, baby, 40.
God, I start when you were 10.
Six, Grace, come on. Because I cut all my doll's hair when I was 6.
Oh my God, incredible. Oh, I love you, sister. You're amazing. And
you are too, Grace.
I'm so grateful. And I look forward to having more conversations because there's so much we can talk about.
Yeah. Unending, right? I mean, it just go on forever.
I love it. And also what I'll do is in the podcast, we'll also put your information there. So people are interested to find you because I know you have mentorship opportunities and they can sign up for your blog. And is there anything else that you'd like to tell our audience about you or where they can find you?
I think the Facebook page I have, and that's just a page, Judy James. And then my Instagram is judyjames.forlove.
Love it. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Judy. It was so amazing to have you here today. Yeah. And thank you for, everyone who's able to join us live. And thank you to those on the replay. I'll definitely go back. And if there's any questions, I don't think they were just, I love the comments. And if there are any questions, we'll definitely get to those. But thank you guys so much for joining us today on this live episode of Real Talk. I really appreciate you. And I appreciate you, Judy, for being here with us today. And I wish you all a fabulous rest of the day. Love you guys. Take care. Hey, love. Thank you so much for listening today. I am so grateful for you. I'd like to show you my appreciation by gifting you a free forgiveness self-hypnosis audio download. Part of living the fun and fabulous life is practicing forgiveness. Forgiveness can be such a long and challenging process. My intention is that this forgiveness audio will help you in practicing forgiveness, especially with yourself. Grab it by visiting daretoachieve.com/forgiveness. For more inspiring tips, make sure to connect with me on social media. Drop me a line on Facebook or Instagram at Grace Redman Dare to Achieve. Until next time, keep moving forward towards living your fabulous life.